Okay, so Solo, a Star Wars film, talks a lot about Han Solo. I like the fact that they do a lot of callbacks, or I guess this would be foreshadowing since it's a prequel, to things that we know about in A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, as well as a couple of scenes that are very reminiscent to what you see in Return of the Jedi. And I like that. I'm like, that's interesting. Also ties into Rogue One. And when you see where Han really fits in with the continuity of the rebellion, it's actually kind of interesting to see where he is at this time and where we know he ends up at the end of a New Hope. The plot is Han. Well, he's called Han. You find the origin of his last name. Han is kind of like a street rat, for lack of better terminology. So the beginning of the film kind of feels like Slumdog Star Wars. And then he ends up getting his way into kind of the smuggling outlaw sort of piece. Woody Harrelson did a great job. And I think the female lead wants it's Emilia Clarke. I don't watch Game of Thrones. I think that she's the Queen of Dragons in Game of Thrones. I've only seen her in a few things. She's actually pretty good, playing a character that I feel like there's a tremendous amount more to her. But being that I haven't read any of the books, which I think Disney got away from, or any of the current Marvel comics, which may or may not tie into some of these things, I feel there's a lot more to her character that I don't understand, which is fine. They also make mention to things. I'm like, okay, I know of that. I know of that. I know of that. I know what that planet is. I've heard of that planet. I know what they're talking about there. So there's a lot of bits and pieces that are thrown in, and you kind of go, okay. Okay, I get what, okay. I have enough sources, I know what they're talking about there. Lando. Brilliant. Oh, that character was brilliant. Yes, I will lightly touch upon the Lando is pansexual thing that was all over the internet. It makes sense that Lando would be okay with having relations with anything he is compatible with. I'll leave it at that. As always, there's a sassy robot. That this one is probably the most annoying robot. Yeah. Out of the talkies, this one is. I would put L3 at a little bit more annoying than C-3PO. C-3PO at least was just window dressing. It was more trying to like break up certain things and to de-stress situations. And that robot is just kind of aggravating. All in all, I'd say this film is okay. If you want to know more about Han Solo and fill in some gaps here and there, it's good enough for that. Trying to figure out exactly where it fits into the timeline might give you some headaches. Especially when you see stuff towards the end of the film, you're like, okay, I think that character is this, but the weapon is this, and it's kind of... Okay, I never watched Rebels either, and I can very much tell that this happens, we're in between, potentially, in between, sort of kind of like the Rogue One kind of era. But we know Rogue One was right into A New Hope, and we know he's older in A New Hope. So we're kind of probably in between the like Revenge of the Sith, Rogue One sort of era. And it's an okay film. This isn't a must-watch. This is probably something you catch on Netflix and probably be fine. Or Amazon Prime, or Redbox, whatever your preferred method of legally watching a film. So, all in all, I'd say this film was okay.